even for the finale, you still just will not center those words.
The court is now back in session.
Wow, already? I see you just want to get this over with. Very well. One more time.
The court is now back in session.
There is no the.
This proves she was shopping a little before the murder.
Is she was shopping?
She really was in the forest that night.
But not that forest.
Nor has anyone referred it to one.
That was misworded.
For Sonata to have seen this club in the store.
We're talking about the club. And A, not the.
Sonata here couldn't have seen the club at the store.
Now we're talking about this club.
Guess you should have thought about that before trying to get me arrested.
Of, not about. Misspelled until. Misspaced little.
And an assortment of other fruit and vegetables.
So not more fruits.
The first lightning bolt struck.
And it was lighting up the entire area, right?
It's how the filly escaped the forest.
That, not the. I saw that lowercase forest.
Cursity of Sonata.
Phoenix, the subtitle says courtesy, not cursity.
And the bolt hit him directly on the neck.
His neck, not the neck. Come on, Phoenix, you're reading directly off the record.
A pony named Cruise Control.
Grammatically, it should be the pony, since A is indefinite, and the court is already familiar with this exact pony.
Oh, I'm going to tell the princess about this!
There is no O.
You said the golf club was laying in the fire.
Stop lying to yourself, Phoenix. That's not how laying is spelled.
If Ace was really laying in the fire...
Nope, still lying.
Suggest the victim had the struggle.
Possible A instead of the? I'll do half.
I have no doubt it was laying in that fire.
Oh, come on, you had laying right the last time.
Club, if you were laying in that fire...
It's still laying.
It could be like it is if it were really hit by the first bolt.
Possible it, not he? Other half.
A childish item in and make...
There is no in. Unnecessary quotation mark.
No way you could prepare teleporting when engaged in an argument like that.
How would you know? Were you in a argument recently?
You can't just say she did this.
So we're not putting stutters in the subtitles now?
She couldn't outrun him.
Missing that have.
Possible due to the protective suit.
But what about his suit?
Tell me what?
Missing that t.
Or I quit.
There is no second I.
While I prepare that teleportation.
The, not that.
You've heard Mr. Right.
You've, so there is no have.
But the slightest incident...
Missing that at.
Did you forget about his suit?
Do you speak English good?
Due to the anatomy of Pegasi,
There is no the.
Where would a Pegasus hold a stick?
But not the stick.
I've seen a few while making deliveries.
Out, not while.
You don't want to tear me to smithereens.
Missing that first audible y. And two, not into.
Make sure it goes toward that cause.
I just hope it goes towards something. Missing the apostrophe that actually was in part 3.
You had been given the guilty verdict.
A, not the.
think you're gifted at. And then some little...
There is no and.
Maybe you could put on your show there.
She could if you can convince her right.
It may be because I'm still new here.
It just may be.
More tolerable than the last time she was in Ponyville.
There is no the.
Actually, I don't know if that's a good idea.
That's not what it says.
Sorry.
That says not
Alright, every pony, say cheese.
Ever pony will do no such thing. Random tilde.
This seems less like a skeleton.
There is no like.
You've told me all about him and all the wonderful things he's done.
All should be over here, and that's all I've got to say, so gotcha! Alright, no more stalling. Let's finish this.
She had to have been in the forest.
And there's no way.
And that means she may have done it.
I can think clearly.
But Trixie's right.
Without long
She isn't a Pegasus.
pauses.
There's
As you know, I've been watching the whole time. And I'm not impressed.
I know, he thinks he can accuse you all unprofessional not wearing that defense badge he had on in front of you yesterday.
Please be quiet. The grown-ups are speaking. You have no right sticking your nose in the law.
Are you saying she's too young? Or that she's too focused on revenge and personal issues to focus on the case at hand? Or is it that she's too out of her league being a performer? Because the entire Ace Attorney series begs to differ. Trixie's mane is phasing through the collar of her cloak.
Have you finally run out of arrogant lies?
What do you mean by lies? She's not a prosecutor, she's not a magician. I can see over-exaggeration and overcompensation, but no true lies.
Now that brings me to you, right? I believe you broke into my...
Hold it! That wasn't the agreement, Sonata. You specifically said he couldn't tie blackmailing to you. There was nothing about being on the scene of the crime.
Phoenix Wright and Pinkie Pie can...
How does the judge know Pinky's name? She was with Phoenix the whole time yesterday, and her name was never uttered in court.
That witness must be mistaken. I wasn't anywhere near the forest that night. And I certainly wasn't carrying that golf club you keep waving around.
Wow, that last statement was so unnecessarily added, even Mr. Solid is laughing at you. While it is possible Equestria places their currency symbol after the amount, why is it a $sign when they use bits?
You... cried?
Yes, it's a complex secretomotor phenomenon.
Obligatory.
characterized by the shedding of secrets from the lacking muscular structure.
Also, why has Twilight become this naively stupid to think Phoenix, a grown adult, doesn't know what crying is?
I doubt with her secluded lifestyle she's ever seen you.
Whoa, Phoenix. Shy and antisocial are not one and the same. You can't generalize Fluttershy like that.
She could have read a newspaper like Equestria Daily.
Equestria Daily. Unless this video goes up on there, then just ignore this.
Hey, I actually own a great, insightful book on quantum physics.
You know, there's Adorkably Geeky, and then there's I'm gonna spend the next 20 seconds to beat into you how nerdy I am. Why would something that holds no inherent value in Equestria be his cutie mark?
When performing a teleportation spell,
This vital explanation to the case is apparently not good enough for subtitles.
a less talented unicorn could learn the teleportation spell and perform it well enough to make one big jump from deep inside the forest to almost anywhere in Ponyville.
Don't say anywhere in Ponyville if your demonstration involves dimension jumping. Phoenix had complete concentration and a mental image of his office, yet the teleportation still falls short and puts him in the room outside.
Trixie knows of a reason why this witness didn't teleport all the way back to her hotel room.
You do? But why are you...
Why are you helping the defense?
Come on, Judge, you should know the value of prosecution, seeking the truth from the witness by any means necessary from previous cases and beyond. Achtung, baby!
Trixie ended up in the middle of the crowd instead of behind them.
Does this mean you set off fireworks in the middle of the crowd? Or are the fireworks not teleported with you? If not, it kinda ruins the magic when there are unlit fireworks that can be seen behind the crowd at any time.
Just look at her! She's sweating bullets right now!
No, she's not. Applebloom's legs shouldn't be able to bend like that. And there you go again, hiding the reveal of the stick, but it should still be in her mouth or levitating next to her at this moment anyway.
Sonata had no choice but to run eastward with a golf club in her mouth. Applebloom, however, walked home to Sweet Apple Acres in the south.
And there you go again, using this map as your reference and not an actual map of Ponyville, which is in the brochure and shows the hotel would be westward, if Sweet Apple Acres is in the south.
Miss Sonata?
Silly Judge, Trixie's for ponies. That pencil is a lot bigger than the one she was shown to be using. Also, way to D. Vasquez breakdown, except hers was at the end of the trial, not the middle of it.
I dislike you. Just thought I'd reiterate that in case it wasn't clear enough.
Oh, thank you. Trixie gets that a lot.
That wasn't a compliment, Trixie.
So now Phoenix doesn't get sarcasm. That's some spot-on characterization we've got here.
There's something that rubs me the wrong way about the testimony she gave. I think it has something to do with what I found yesterday.
I better look through the evidence Twilight gave.
Twilight, what are you talking about? He goes on to present the autopsy given in court, not by you.
Cheat and manipulate. Do you really think you have the right to judge me?
Again, what are you referring to? She never fabricated evidence, she didn't take any pony steroids to gain her magic ability. You're just spouting empty insults now.
What are they talking about?
I'll tell you later.
She never does, by the way. She has Phoenix deal with it. So evidence is allowed to be present under Twilight's subtitles. Why weren't they doing that before?
I found a flaw in her testimony!
Except the statement about how he acquired the scar was never amended to her testimony.
His mother still packs his lunch? How old is he?
25.
I'm just gonna pretend she didn't answer that.
Wow, Phoenix, way to be judgmental. It's not like he wasn't well off and was living off his mother. Maybe he just enjoys a good homemade lunch.
I think there was a struggle of some kind.
Again, this is the most foolish foolery of your foolish fool brain in that foolish spiky cranium of yours. How could he have had a struggle with lightning?
Yeah, not even Francisco would conclude that was what he was implying.
This book is pretty small. It details the different types of ponies in Equestria.
Are you sure this isn't a book on strange medical conditions, like transparent wings?
Right here on page 1, unicorns use magic.
But according to the description, the first page was about earth ponies.
It's one of the simplest of unicorn spells. I've even seen you doing it, picking up that notepad of yours.
I would have gone with the pencil she openly levitated in court earlier, but I guess the court is just fine with taking your word about the notepad then.
They aren't correctional. They're purely cosmetic. Though they're transparent, I feel like they shield me.
Correctional glasses are still transparent. While for those who don't need them will see objects out of focus, that doesn't make them translucent like frosted glass, for example.
Time for negotiations.
Forget it! I'm not doing it!
Do it or else!
Sonata stated earlier he wore the suit to hide his identity, but he does nothing to disguise his voice. There's a strange black bar solely on the left during the flash.
There's no way she can afford telling anyone about those pictures.
As an equestrian citizen, Sonata would say any pony.
I was going to give you this.
Where was she even keeping that letter? Also, why are you telling him this now? Even if he doesn't retaliate, were you planning on leaving him here in the forest, or did you just want to walk back anyway? Because that's going to be an awkward conversation going back. So, how's your sports teams? Probably doing well, considering their manager didn't quit on them. Yeah, right. And then there's the fact of where were you gonna go? Back to your hotel room? Oh yeah, that's safe. The letter even said you were quitting after the race, so do it after the race. Before leaving Ponyville, lock him outside the hotel room door, teleport to the train station, and go on a train to Dodge Junction. It's like you were planning to harm him so he couldn't come after you.
Calm down.
We can't go back now!
Ace?
You're not going anywhere, Sonata!
What are you doing?
I know it takes a while to draw these images, but could we have at least gotten one more to go with the tension? I don't know, this image doesn't scream, "Sweet Celestia, that guy's a psycho about to kill her!" But it may just be me.
Farewell, Sonata.
That "no" was so terrifying it didn't even want to appear in the subtitles. Hey, Sonata caught the UK spelling bug as well, considering she uses smoldering but still uses humor.
Think of it as being able to project a piano melody you once heard vividly in your mind, but not actually knowing how to play the piano.
She says as the piano melody gets louder, burrowing itself deeper and deeper into my mind.
There's no...
Her hair has an odd break behind her leg, which is also slightly transparent on the left. Are these flashbacks implying she was alone in this world? That's odd, considering later she mentions having parents that put her through law school. Discount Philly Sunset. Wait, is that actually? Cute, but do you expect me to believe that rabbit's been in Trixie's hat for over half an hour? Or that she for some reason teleported it in there? Also, I'm surprised the judge isn't upset for bringing live animals in the court. Oh, wait.
It didn't help he saw my letter after we were done quelling the fire in which he ripped in half afterward.
And I still don't see why you brought it with you. If you were planning on quitting after the race, what happened in between then and now to make you quit sooner? And don't tell me it was threatening Cruz, because that was probably planned way in advance after the last race.
I don't have anyone to protect.
Then let me protect you.
So that's the reason Sonata looks like Mia? Well, there you have it. Sorry, other innocent victims. Looks like Phoenix won't find the whole truth for you unless you resemble one of his friends. What's that Turnabout reclaimed? No, you weren't out yet when this was probably finished being written, so we're okay.
Rainbow Dash wouldn't have had enough time to go back and be spotted by Fluttershy anyway. According to her, it's a good 15 minutes to that clearing.
Yeah, 15 minutes walking, not to fly for one of the fastest Pegasi.
The golf club. Or handle, should I say. Now we know he's the one who could have moved it, right?
Mr. Wright?
Angered by being struck and burned by it, he picked it up and took to the air to get a better view of the dark forest.
Objection! Sorry, Phoenix, but Sonata clearly stated her spell flung him a good distance from where she was, and also where the golf club was. And since we know that forest was incredibly dark and Sonata was not there illuminating it, how did he know where to find the club? If he was as angry as you say, he wouldn't have wasted time fumbling around in the dark looking for a weapon. Not to mention, he was probably disoriented as well. I know that's what happens in the end, but it's still highly illogical, and just a way to write a happy ending for everyone. So that's 3 cents for changing the fates of Rainbow, Sonata, and Ace. Note, this is not actually a serious criticism on the end. I entirely enjoyed the entirety of Turnabout Storm, including the twists and turns, but having too much fun playing along, so let me just be that guy real quick and we'll move along. Okay, cool. Now, take that!
Karma finally nipped him in the back very hard.
In the back of the neck is more like it.
I find the defendants... Objection! Ooh, hoo, hoo. That really is fun to say. Now I understand why you attorneys enjoy cutting off my verdict. The tension, the suspense, the draw!
Just give a verdict!
Well, he can't now. He has to overrule the objection first. Oh, it's so off-center it hurts. This would be the inside of Rainbow Dash's wings, so they shouldn't have the outer feathers. I know it's from watching this frame by frame, but man, do these rigs create a distracting base exposure during each fade. So, bonus round. Oh, don't do that, Rainbow. Oh, Trixie. That's not her hair. Huh? Whoa. No, that's nightmare-inducing. Aw. Got it!
You're deliberately cutting your classes? What is wrong with this generation?
I know, they create conflicts that people can relate to. Wait, that's a good thing. What's your point here, Twilight?
Kinda, sorta?
Yeah, you know. Kinda and sorta.
How about makes no and sense?
Seriously, Phoenix, even Salmonella use more confusing slang than that.
Hey, maybe I'll actually watch the race this year.
Maybe? Even despite getting your friend acquitted to compete in the race, you were still thinking about skipping it?
It's Sparkle! Sparkle! Sparkle!
Insert Nostalgia Critic meme here. Who am I kidding? I'll do it for you.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Yeah, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Woo! Yeah!
How in the hoof is Twilight's Sparkle hard to pronounce?
That's like saying how in the hand or how in the foot.
That went over a little better than I expected.
Good job, Sonata. You cleared the blame from 2 victims. Too bad that's not gonna stop the lawsuits from all those others you blackmailed. Especially poor Loop-de-Loop. All those therapy bills from the trauma, all that constant stalking. Probably not a good idea to throw all that money away. Random tick before the actual animation.
Fluttershy? But she helped Trixie by testifying against me.
Zelda did that too.
Because I thought to myself, what would she do? She?
Ah, the pronoun game. For all your drawn-out, emotion-fueled dialogue means.
The strongest and bravest pony that I know.
Applejack?
So I knew I had to try my hardest to be as brave as I could. Because that's what she'd do for me.
Ooh, they're really laying it on like... you know what? Doing all this to turn around that blow-up in part 4, they earned this scene. Whoa, who turned on all the lobby lights? Rainbow's tears would not be flowing straight out of the side of her eye. They would build up near the bottom of the eyelid and flow down to the side, because the animation showed that her tears were previously coming from the usual spot of tear ducts.
I thought about something she said today, and I think she's right. Friendship is unnecessary.
I know she goes on to dispute this claim later, but for the record, never start your letter to a superior saying the thing they believe in is unnecessary. Even if your whole point is saying it's actually not, you've already started with that slap. No amount of ointment is going to make it go away.
I'm glad those two got things patched up.
Yeah, me too. Uh-oh.
Yeah. I didn't touch any of the volume here, and you can tell Phoenix's audio is significantly
She's
lower than
coming
everyone
back.
else's.
Please, Phoenix. There was another pony in Equestria who was consumed by feelings similar to hers, and the result wasn't pretty.
DeviantArt users beg to differ.
Did any pony ever tell you you have nice, beautiful hands?
Seriously, Lyra, you have the entire human body in front of you, and you still focus on just the hands?
Otherwise I would beat you so hard and make you feel like you're smooching the express.
Close with the reference, but you spelled use wrong, and he explicitly said express train.
Stellar work, Feeny, my boy!
My boy? I'm clearly older than you.
Don't even try to bring age into this, Phoenix. Bronies have tried this for over 6 years, and they still have yet to come to a consensus.
You shouldn't make fun of others' names.
Oh, and why not?
Because they might be like mine and be... copyrighted.
That's how copyright works, Phoenix. If you can't use the copyrighted name, you use a fake one.
But it's basically the exact same kind of punchline as mine!
No, Phoenix, your punchline is your name. Hers is a play on her name.
What's that you're holding?
Why is he even holding the pine cone out in the open? Unless Trixie can see in his court record. What is Trixie's fascination with pine cone? Oh. Okay, I guess she does look silly eating one. Too bad we don't get to see her eat it here. Bring up the meme and you don't even deliver. So now we're referring it to the Golden Oak Library. Make up your mind on these location names. Also, it's only 2:30 in the afternoon. Unless Celestia is blinding Equestria with an unusually close sun, I don't know why the sky would be bright yellow.
I could have sworn. Hello.
Whoa!
Celestia has no wings. Also, her mane is not flowing to the side like usual, as the rest of her body is layered above her flowing hair. Also, that wouldn't say Celestia yet. Phoenix wouldn't know who this is until Twilight says Princess.
I sent out a letter a few days ago, and only yesterday did the recipient get it. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I wonder.
Why is Twilight acting skittish like it's her fault? Derpy still didn't deliver that letter until yesterday, even if it was to the wrong pony.
Excitement they will have for a long time.
I see.
The slight background hum does not cut out on the guards like it did last time.
Then what's with the royal escort? I mean, if it's so peaceful and all.
Even though it's peaceful.
There were psyche locks all over your princess!
So now he pronounces it as psyche, but before he was clearly saying psych.
Psychic barriers called psych locks will appear.
The most likely reason I was affected by that thing's power was me mixing otherworldly magic with my own magic.
Except you didn't use magic to pick it up. You can't retcon the lack of a magic sound effect.
It's a shame. I really wanted to use it on some other subjects.
Use it on other subjects.
I know, I guess Twilight's already getting a head start on how to refer to others when she becomes a princess. Oh, she means test subjects. But they are not receiving the main test component. You are. You would be more the test subject testing your power on participants.
I can't use this money in my world.
Phoenix, just buy some precious gems with it, and then take those back to sell. You give up way too easily.
Who never doubted you for a second.
Every lawyer must suck horse apples if you're supposed to be the best one.
She said defense attorney, not lawyer.
Oh yeah, baby!
Hey, Trixie.
Rainbow has the confused, disappointed look several frames before Phoenix's dialogue is even shown.
I'm a strong believer everything isn't in black and white. Especially after this case.
Sorry, Phoenix, you still have several years after this case before you get colored evidence. So, in the end, Trixie is given a large sum of bits, and her next show appearance is...
Too dangerous.
Well, good to know that sentiment was all for naught.
Yeah, Twilight, you did sound kind of lame.
Whoa,
Spike,
when did you get here? Hey, Twilight, that's my line. Fine, then Spike, did you really have nothing to say during that whole, well, anything that happened here?
It came to mind when I was sewing up Mr. White's suit yesterday.
What? Take that? Hold it? Because those were the only things you brought up yesterday.
I know what you're talking about.
Except how is Spike supposed to know? He was never at the trials. And same with Pink. Actually, I'm not gonna question that. Just Spike is fine. So not only is Apple Bloom masquerading as donuts, but now Neo Artemis and David Carson.
Oh, you're leaving?
Skimping on the subtitles again. And even the part when they're actually unskippable in the games.
Oh, I got it! Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, The Revenge of Wagner! It's going to be super duper hungo mongo fun! I call top billing!
Sure, top billing on a work that already has Phoenix's name in the title. Doesn't get any topper than that.
I'm marching down to that post office and clamoring for a refund! On the other hoof, I ought to learn to do more research.
No, on the other hoof, you should know the post office doesn't give refunds. You have to go straight to the source.
That last moment we had solved everything, I could have sworn I saw someone next to you. But the strange thing is, it looked like...
Unsatisfying payoffs on design choices are the best.
What my sister Applejack here is trying to say is, this judge character is prancing about, shoving his love for Equestria in every pony's faces, and that's a tad overbearing for every pony around him.
It's pretty obvious what this is referring to, but it's also pretty sad that after 3 years of the fandom starting, this lesson still has to be beaten into your heads. Scootaloo has an extra eyelash on her left eye.
But mowing Old Pony Jenkins...
Old Pony Jenkins.
You take all this stupid evidence.
When did Trixie ever come into possession of Sonata's letter? Whoa, what's with the wide shot of the room? It's like she has him backed into a corner while talking to him.
She's your special somebody. Pearl?
Wrong. That's pearls to you, Phoenix, and pearly to you, Maya.
This is why I work alone.
Wah wah. Also, I'm sure Gumshoe would say differently about that, pal. Speaking of which, where is he? He cares just as much about Phoenix's safety as Edgeworth does.
Mr. Nick, you're never gonna win Mystic Maya's heart, let alone any woman carrying pictures like these.
First attacking the extremist bronies, now the fetishist bronies? This will not end quietly. Double rainboom. That picture was taken on the ground floor of the library, not the top floor by Twilight's bedroom. Fluttershy is missing a hind leg.
You haven't told me your name yet. May I ask what it is? My name? My name is...
So Celestia was communicating with Mia this whole time. Does that mean someone was channeling her? I guess it could have been Luna. It would explain her absence. Wait, even if it wasn't Luna, Celestia has apparently been keeping this pony isolated in this dark room? This is wading into true fanfiction territory now. Actually, what would that pony look like channeling a human spirit? And we're done. Anthro is where I draw the line. Objection! No, this is not over yet. You want to play the comparison game? Fine. I call Pony Adrian Andrews to the stand. They both wear glasses. They both worked as managers. Phoenix first meets her in a hotel room. She has a book animation. Cyclocks were triggered when asked about the victim. She had 4 Cyclocks. She has right, keep her past doings a secret. After entering the courtroom, she immediately shoots down Phoenix for attempting to accuse her. The victim and she had dirt on the defendant. She leaves a trace of her presence on the crime scene. She also purposely leaves a reason for the defendant's arrest on the crime scene. Then she takes a crucial item from the crime scene. A photograph to discover the truth between her and the victim was taken. She escapes the initial crime scene through unconventional means, and is caught in the act by a witness. She refuses to testify. Her secret is revealed by the prosecutor instead of Phoenix. Her sullen, unapproachable air was all an act. The one she managed did things that messed with her psychologically. Phoenix risks the not guilty verdict of his client to also prove her innocent. She still goes to jail for tampering with the crime scene, but not for murder. After escaping the trial with her life, she abandons her old job in favor of a new one. She also decides to change her appearance after the fact. The one she managed happened to be the cause of his own downfall. No one else was to blame. And that's 24 reasons why these two are the same characters. Do you agree? Yes, no, maybe so? Well, it doesn't matter because I'm counting them as sins anyway. What do you think about that?
Whatever. Have it your way, then.
Yes, gladly. Hold it! Sorry, after scrubbing that image from my mind, I actually noticed on this little end card, there's a piece of Rarity's tail floating behind Twilight's leg. Okay, now I'm done.
You will still be punished accordingly.
I humbly accept my...
Out of my way, sister! My turn!
So, Rainbow, there are mistakes in this, aren't there?
It's true.
Trixie hopes you enjoy stale bread, because that's all you're going to be eating for a long time.
You're out of order! No, you're out of order! This court's out of order! The soda machine in the gym is out of order!
Did any pony ever tell you you have nice, beautiful hands?
Nope. I am your judge, executioner, jury, executioner, jailer, and if necessary, your executioner.
You said executioner 3 times.
I like that part of the job.
She's lying.
When I first spoke with you, I noticed. Your eyes showed a lot of determination and resourcefulness. You're that human lawyer from the trial earlier.
Court is now adjourned.